All right. So you make your way back to the town, and as you start making your way here, you notice there is a bit of a skirmish, it seems like, up by Town Hall. It's very noisy, lots and lots of people gathering around. Much different scene than before, where everybody was kind of staying away from Town Hall. Now they definitely appear agitated at something up there.
Crap, do we have to go?
Is this worth investigating?
How about
It
some
is
of you go
always
to
a
the
good time to
temple
fight.
and some of us go to town hall?
Okay, I go
Alright.
fight.
Like,
Yeah.
Ormosh, you're so low health, you should go to the temple.
Yes, I was gonna volunteer to go to the temple.
I'm still the one at least guiding. I would at some point, if possible, stopped forcefully carrying Eleanor and just like walk with her.
No, but she
Yeah, I
might
mean-
try and scream and run. We're gonna have to carry her all the way to the temple.
So at this point, you guys have separated her from whatever it was that was bothering her. She's calmed down, and almost lifeless at this point, just mentally and physically drained.
I would also been trying to gently talk to her and just like help her keep her calm, and just try to do what I can to soothe her anxiety or whatever.
Okay. So what is the plan? The plan is to send Vormash and I'm guessing Belvedere with Eleonora over to the temple over here. I'm on the wrong layer. So you're trying to go over here, to the far west.
Yeah, that's the plan.
And then Avalana and Slavomir, you are headed north, correct?
Seems
Going
so.
to see what's going
Yep.
on up here. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and split you guys. Artie will go over here. Just moving you over in here.
There's that magic word split.
Split Artie. And now, so what are you doing once you get Eleonora here?
I'm gonna knock on the front door of the temple and go, someone help, this woman is in grave distress. She's hurt.
And you remember from before the clergy member that you had recently spoke to. Same guy opens the door and is like, "My God, it's Eleonora. Where did you find her?"
In the cultist mansion, we barely managed to escape with our lives.
He's like, yes, quickly, bring her in here, and kind of rush into the temple and lay her on one of the beds. She's, like I said, she's unmoving at this point. She's not fighting back. She's just done.
Yeah, so is Vormish.
So is Vormash.
Could I insight check the guy that greeted us at the door?
Absolutely. And Vormash, if I was you, I would use one of those healing surges.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that was terrible.
So how does it work, the healing surge?
Your healing surge is just like a short rest. You can use up to... Okay, so you have to use a minimum of half of what your hit die are. So how many hit die do you have remaining right now?
2.
So you have to at least have one available. You can use that one and get the full amount of healing off of that. Let's see, hold on. Nope, you roll it and you regain that as health.
All right.
And then, let's see, just double checking the rules here. Yep, that's it. So yeah, you can use half of those, but you have to use it at least half.
Got it.
All right, so you get 6 healing back off that. Then I'm gonna make sure this is right. As an action, which this is out of combat, so it doesn't matter. A character can use a healing surge and spend up to half of his or her hit points. If you have, in the case of this, if you have only 2 remaining, you can you have to at least have one. You can't use more than half. So if you only had one remaining, you couldn't do just one. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to at least have a minimum of 1 hit die available to do it. And you regain the hit points total to the hit die roll plus your Constitution mod, which it already adds in there. And then afterwards, says player can spend additional hit die afterwards if they would like to do so.
Yeah, I'm gonna do so.
Okay. So you can use both of your hit die. Oh,
Hey.
that is rough.
Alrighty.
So you got 9 healing, but you are now down to 1 healing surge. -1.
I'm so sorry. Out of all the times to roll a 1.
Of session 5.
It's alright. We'll forgive you this time.
Okay. So the tracking is updated. You are now down 1. Formosh has used it at the end of session 5. But he's in much better place than he was. So yeah, and the insight check. The guy seems... You rolled an 8, but even with advantage, the guy seems completely legit.
Okay.
All right. So now, what's the plan now? Now that we've brought Eleonora to you.
And he's like, well, she can stay here and rest, and we can try to get her better, but she needs to go to the king. I mean, that's why you said you were here, right? The king sent you here to look for her.
Yes, we will take her to the king.
We've sent word about the cultists that have invaded the town and the mansion, and they're not sure how soon word has word's arrived there yet, but hopefully within the next day there should be reinforcements arriving in the town to help deal with the issue.
And he nods and's a bit thankful, glad that there are reinforcements coming, especially in the situation that they're dealing with. It's obviously not been a good ordeal for them, and they are just looking forward to getting these cultists out of their hair.
And I'm going to ask, is there possibly anywhere that myself and the rest of my party can take safe refuge in case the rest of these cultists come looking for Eleanor or ourselves?
And he's kind of looks at you a little quizzically and says, oh no, there's not many places. You can try the inn. That's probably a good place. But I know it's pretty busy here. You might have trouble getting a room.
I will convince her, the bartender, to get us a room.
The inn is going to be the place we go after all.
Well, I asked them too, is like if possible, it would be alright if we were to stay here and at the temple to rest and recover, and also help keep vigil over Eleonora.
He nods and looks around and says, well, there's not many places, but if necessary, we can find some place to keep you guys overnight.
I'll nod and say that it'll be great. It's greatly appreciated.
Okay.
All right. So should we go? So do you want to go to the inn anyway? Because we left her in the hands of the clergy.
I'm just not 100% sure I want to leave. Like, leave one of us here.
All right. How about I'll go to the inn and you stay with Eleonora.
All right.
All right. And I wave goodbye to Eleonora with just the biggest smile, and I start walking away.
Okay. So Beldir's staying behind. Mormosh is heading back to or towards the inn. Avalana and Slavomir, let's talk about what you are seeing. You are greeted by a very massive crowd of people surrounding the entryway of the town hall. With Ulk, the constable, the guy is standing there, it looks like a guard, holding on to the long coat of Luthard Gamwich with both hands, face to face with him. Luthard's kind of patting his chest a bit and almost seems like he's pleading for his life.
I'm gonna run right up there.
Okay.
Yeah, me too, I guess. I'm gonna
I'm
follow
gonna be
behind
like,
them.
hey, guys. Let's cool down here.
All right. So go ahead and get yourselves into position. Where are you gonna go? Okay.
I want to be like trying to get in between the two, but I can't really do that with my token.
Correct. And that would be kind of hard because Ulk's got a death grip on this guy. He's holding on to him, and Luthard, as you kind of squeeze your way in between him, Luthard's kind of patting him on the chest and is like, wait, okay? I know what it looks like, but you have to believe me. It's not what it appears. You have no idea what we're up against here. I'm just protecting you from the Scarlet Hand. If Gillian was still in charge, we would all be dead.
What is going on here? What is the, how do you say, kerfuffle?
He looks at you and says, they don't believe me. They think these cultists are here for me. I'm keeping them. I couldn't let the city go down. I couldn't let Gillian just lead us into the ground and let these cultists overrun everything. Like, I've seen Tyrus' strength. He would have destroyed all of us if I had not complied. I did exactly what any of you would have done. What nobody else did too. I was the one that put the knife in Gillian's back.
Oh boy, I think maybe it's time for you to stop talking.
He's like, no, please, you have to understand. I worked with the Scarlet Hand to keep peace in the city, to protect all of you, not betray you. I gave up everything to appease them. I did what I could for the people here, not him.
He does make a point, but maybe perhaps we should kill him anyway.
No,
No.
Slavomir. I don't think that's necessary.
He is a coward.
No, you heard him, he was trying to help.
And he was a murderer too.
No, I wasn't a murderer. I was a puppet. I'm telling you, I was just trying to keep the Scarlet Hand appeased, trying to keep everybody out of sight so they wouldn't interfere in the lives of the people here. But that's over. Tyrus is going to arrive, and when he does, you guys are all dead.
Okay, you guys. Let's break things down, into like order of importance here. Firstly, Tyrus. He's coming when? Why?
I don't know. Soon? Last I knew, he was en route. And I was close. But he's looking for a shrine. That's why the Scarlet Hand had been here. That's why they showed up. But
They're looking for what?
a shrine.
Oh.
He kind of looks around and he's like, they keep coming here, and they will continue to come here until Tyrus finds what he is looking for.
Okay. So I turn to the rest of the crowd. I'm going to say, so you guys are upset that he killed somebody, that you think he like sold you out to the cult and whatever? Is that right?
The people kind of question it, and the one guy directly behind you kind of looks at you and says, well, Gillian was a great leader for us, but we would have never suspected that it was Luthard that killed him.
Okay, you guys. How about this? You guys put away your differences at the moment, because at the moment, there's going to be bigger problems than some political kerfuffles, as my friend said.
And as you're continuing this conversation, Luthard kind of nods and looks in your direction. It's like, yes, you people, you seriously have no idea what we're up against. And as he continues talking, his voice trails off and he starts reaching up towards his chest. You watch as he collapses to his knees, and Ulk, holding on to him, Luthard's body just falls like a sack of potatoes to the ground. His face turns like a pale green. He becomes gravely ill, almost unconscious, barely breathing. Ulk, very wide-eyed now, releases him as his body becomes too heavy, and you watch as Luthar just lays on the ground, completely unmoving.
Healer's kit.
Slavomir and Avalana, I need you to give me a perception check, please.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's about right. Avalana, as you watch this happen, the both of you feel the air kind of starts to turn cold. Avalana, very overwhelming sensation of death starts to overtake you. Makes the hairs on your arms and the back of your neck stand up. You look around the village, and about 30 feet or so away, kind of hidden away in the shadows, a body appears. The only reason you notice it is because at the top of the what you can only assume to be a staff is this bright red glowing blood diamond sitting at the top of it. The person holding the staff wears all black cloth and robes. Very hard to really distinguish anything. The hood big enough that it drapes down over his face, and stands there holding on to the staff at his side. Kind of raises, you notice as his right arm is raised a little bit in the air, kind of turned over, like palm down, or the top of his hand down, and pointing a little bit in the direction where Luthard once stood. And Avalana, as you see this, in the back of your head, you hear a very familiar voice. One, do you still question my strength?
Fuck yes.
And the crowd kind of looks at you funny as the voice is only in your head. They don't see anything.
Can I 60 feet move that direction and yell for Slavomir to come with me?
You can try. And this man looks in your direction and says, I know you think that it would be intelligent of you to come and attack me, but let's be honest here. You don't want to die just yet, do you? Did you really think that I would give you the chance to make your way here if I didn't know what your intentions would be? I knew that you were going to find Eleonora. I led you here. I wanted you here. Because if you're
Are
here...
you saying you gave me the vision?
If you're here, you can't interfere in my plans elsewhere. About this time...
Why are you talking to yourself?
About this time, everybody's kind of getting a little spooked. Luthard's on the ground, unmoving. Ulk already kind of freaked out about all of this. Suddenly, this voice that Avalana heard in the back of her head starts... Everybody in the town can start to hear it, or at least in your general area. He says, "It is time for you to leave. Your meddling in matters that do not concern you have come to an end. Should you not yield my warning, you can only blame your foolish pride for your own death."
I'm gonna run to him.
And as you start to approach him, you notice that Tyrus takes his right hand and lifts it, and rotates it upward. The palm of his hand kind of making like a spherical motion, and a small reddish orange orb begins floating over his hand. And as you lunge forward, he quickly flicks his wrist, throwing this orb in your direction. I need everybody in that area will be doing a dexterity saving throw.
Oh god.
High rolls, high rolls.
Very high rolls.
Come on, Nat 20. We need at least one this session.
Ooh. Look at that.
Not as good.
Okay. Before we go any further, Vormash, what are you doing?
I said I was gonna go to the inn and see if there was any rooms available,
Yes.
which I'm now regretting.
Okay. So you make your way over towards the inn.
Oh shit! Hold on. I apologize. I get advantage on dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
I see this effect, right?
Yeah, you can see it. You can see the orb generating over his hand.
Yeah, the other one was better. Whatever.
The other one was still better.
Hey, what's going on over here, guys?
Okay.
This is awkward. I don't know. People are throwing orbs, and Avalana is talking to herself. Also, there is a voice.
Belvedere, what are you doing? Because basically, this voice, instead of it just being heard in one person's head, everybody is now hearing it.
Including myself in the temple.
Including yourself all the way in the temple.
And would I have heard this fireball go off?
You have not heard the fireball go off, or what you believe to be a fireball. It's not actually a fireball.
Well, it sounds like a fireball to me, DM. That's all I'm going to say.
What are you doing?
Well, if I hear this voice, if I hear the voice and recognize it talking, I want to be like, literally turn to like the clergy or whatever that's in there and be like, stay in here with Eleonora. I need to go outside. And I'm gonna basically use all my movement to like run outside and run toward where I knew like the thing stuff was going on.
Okay. So yeah, you start heading out this direction. I'll go ahead and let you move up close by where Vormash was, because he wasn't too far away when this all started. With that, this orb that Tiras has now flicked his wrist and hurled in your direction engulfs the entire area, 20-foot radius from Ulk all the way around, catching pretty much everybody here. Every civilian, including Ulk and Luthard, are now dead.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, it gets worse. It does get worse. Oh yeah, it does get worse. 1 second. This is gonna take me a minute because I gotta mark all of these bodies here.
Once again, I think running ahead caused our demise.
None of this would happen if we were at the inn.
We could be having drinks right now.
This one survives. This one does not. This one does not. 5, 10, 15. That one does not. Oh, excuse me. That one does not. Slavomir and Avalana. This attack, Avalana, you are able to save against it, but it is half damage, dealing 35 fire damage and 35 necrotic damage on a fail. half as much on a success.
What?
You are both incapped with 2 death
Oh.
saves.
Oh, and I saw all of this.
Wait, how much? Like, even a successful, that's 35 damage total, right?
Correct.
How much HP does Ivana have max?
Meh. Slavomir has 36 health total.
No, I've got 36 right now. I've got 41 total.
Yeah. Avalana, because of the sheer amount of damage, you are down 2 fails on your death save. Slavomir, because it was just 1. Oh no, wait. Avalana saved. Avalana saved. But she will be incapped. But the incap amount is not enough, so it will not get a death save on her because she saved. Slavomir, you failed. The main amount was just enough to incap you, plus 1 fail to your death save.
Okay.
With that, he kind of looks around at the destruction and starts walking
Now I've got a question for you, by the way.
forward. Sure.
Relentless endurance.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm reduced to 0 but not killed outright, you can drop to 1 hit point instead.
Correct. But you can only use it once per short rest. Correct? Or per long rest. Yeah, so in that case, then we'll take the death save failure off. Because you would come back to 1. But then immediately the necrotic would be enough to take you under. Remaining adventurers, what are you doing?
I would have gotten close enough to see this fireball go off then.
Orange is just petrified with fear after seeing that.
You notice that Tyrus now looks and can see between the buildings and stuff as he moves forward. Sees Vormash at the southeastern end of the area here and says, "What have you? Are you gonna try your luck too?"
Just step back over here. And I'll just kind of just go over, just hide here behind the thing.
Okay. With that, he kind of looks around, the death and destruction all around him a bit, and says, "What is begun cannot be stopped. My ascension will be heralded the world over. Those who defy me shall face their death. You now have 12 days until the fall of the Isles. I suggest you make the most of it. Oh, and by the way, thank you for bringing the meek one to me." And you watch as behind Eleonora, or behind Tyrus, and out of the shadows steps Eleonora, the woman you just saved.
Jeez.
And he turns around, giving her a little room to kind of make her way forward. Her eyes glowing a very faint red, almost as if she's being told what to do. And you watch as Tyrus kind of backs over, laughing a bit maniacally as he reaches his right hand over and places his hand on her shoulders, and the both of them disappear.
I go around from the corner and go, "You better run!"
Am I up here at this point? And how much of this have I seen? And I've heard the talking, right? So.
Yeah, you've heard him talking. You know what he is saying because, again, it's going to everybody, and the people would be fleeing. I'm just being lazy and not moving all of the tokens away. But they would be fleeing at this point. Nobody wants anything to do with this. And they would still be running, not knowing that he has disappeared.
Well, I'm assuming that, and also I'd be coming upon the the flaming wreckage of people.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, when I see him, I'm like, I'll just stop for a second and be like completely looking before Nash and be like, what in the what in the holy hell?
You see Vormesh's face is just pale white, and he can't bring himself to speak right now, and he's just gonna point over to Slavomir and Avalana's like knocked out bodies.
I'm gonna run over and I'll use my lay on hands. I'll give him each 2 points. That's what I got.
I'm gonna run over there as well and see if I can help.
Okay. And you notice as this is going on, a couple of the clergy members from the temple quickly rush over, hearing all of this, and immediately rush over and try to come to the aid of the two fallen leaders, Ulk and Luthard, and try to bring them back. So Belvedere, you're coming over and helping them as well. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would use at least 1 point on each, but if I can tell that like no one else is alive, then I would just finish. Give them each 2 points because I you can't use lay on hands on dead people, obviously. So.
Okay. So yeah, you use 2 points to lay on hands on both of them. They both come back to life. Very, very much hurting from that encounter. You watch as the priests trying to do their work. Come over here. Ulk, because he was at the center of the blast, unfortunately, they're not able to really do anything. His entire body is charred to a waste. Luthard was already kind of hurting to begin with. His body was almost shielded in some way because of the way that the orb impacted. They're able to bring him to life, but he clings to life, and as they're standing over him, trying to bring him back, he's just unmoving. He's a complete waste right now.
Slavomir, Avalana, are you okay? Say something.
He's going to die.
Oh, thank God. You're back to normal.
I need ale.
Oh, no, it's okay. I got this for you, but drink up. I give him the strong.
What do I need, a constitution save?
It's a constitution saving throw.
What a dick.
Oh yeah, you save. So you take a drink of this and you're like, hey, it's not too bad.
This is what I need now.
You're okay. Thank you. And I put the bottle back in my pack.
No, let me have more.
Oh yeah, Avalana, would you like some?
Do I recognize what it is?
Yes.
No, thank you.
Okay. But seriously though, are you okay? You look pretty beat up there.
I would appreciate some sleep. But I also really want to kill him.
You can kill him in your dreams. Now let's get some sleep.
There's nothing you can do now.
As you guys start to regather yourself.